Welcome. Welcome to this Schenectady City School District Board of Education meeting of May 4th, 2016. Let's begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, 7:15. At this time, we have a little bit of different order here. We would like to welcome Linda Snyder, President of the Schenectady County Retired Teachers Association, who will be making a presentation to the district this evening. Linda, and I believe there might be some other people with you. I believe the microphones are ready to go. Okay. And if you'll introduce yourself, you can turn toward the camera. There. Introduce yourselves. Yeah, I think you're good. Right there. No, to the behind you, to the left.
Cameras to the left.
Who's? Somebody use the mic. You can lift it off the thing there. Thank you.
We'll just introduce ourselves.
It's on. Just speak directly straight into it.
I'm Barbara Hamilton. I taught at Fulton School and Yates Arts and Education Magnet School.
And I'm Stella Courtney, and I taught at several schools. Let me see if I can remember them all. Horace Mann, Yates, Van Corlear, Woodlawn, Central Park. I think that's it. I don't think I forgot one. Okay.
I'm Carol Fisher. I taught at Yates and Lincoln primarily, and at Schenectady High School. I was itinerant, so I covered some of the Catholic schools as well.
I'm Linda Snyder behind the picture here, and I taught at Niskuna. But I live in Schenectady. And I'm Elaine Orsini, and I taught at Mohanison most of the time. But my husband taught for many, many years at Central Park, John Orsini.
Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, I am going to be the moderator tonight. Okay, all right, I'm going to sit. As I said, I'm Stella Courtney, and I do represent the organization called SCRTA. And SCRTA, it stands for Schenectady County Retired Teachers Association. And this association consists of 6 different school districts: Duanesburg, Mohanison, Niskayuna, Chalmont, Schenectady, and Scotia Glenville. Now, this organization is open to all employees, whether you're certified, non-certified, and you don't have to just be a teacher, okay? And I want my colleagues here to help me if I need to say something else. So it's open to all employees of these 6 districts, okay? And we really solicited membership because the membership dues that we pay are very important to funding our organization. Now, I'm going to talk about 2 teachers that was probably here before any of us, okay? One is named May Begley. You may know that name. She is the founder of this organization. And, of course, she left some monetary funds. And from what I understand, if I'm correct, these funds are not to be used for our aspiring teachers, okay? I'm going to talk about those awards in just a moment. But May Begley worked in Schenectady, and she, in 1920, I wasn't even here, okay? And she worked.
I don't think we were either.
You were not either, okay? At McKinley School, I've heard of that school, McKinley. And some of you may know that her brother was the mayor of Schenectady at one time. And she was the principal, I guess, maybe at that school from 1949 to 1959. So she's one of the founders. And the other founder is Bessie Austin Gray. She was a teacher in 1950, and she was a principal at Mohawk School. Where is that? Where's Mohawk School? In Scotia, okay. And she worked with our former superintendent, Ray Cucciello. She worked with him, okay. Now, let's see. This organization, like I said, we have what we call the ATA award, and what we do is sponsor a high school senior to go to college, okay? And they have to be someone who's aspiring to become a teacher. And what we do is award one person from each of those school districts once a year. So, for example, Schenectady will get a recipient every 6 years. So we'll have someone coming from each one of those districts, every 6 years. This year, the recipient is from DeWaynesburg, and she is Monica Krug. Some of you may know her, all right? Okay, now when this organization first started, we issued only $200 because funds were low. Now we're up to $1,500. Okay,
Okay.
and like I say, we do really solicited people who are getting ready to retire, or if you know people who have retired already and have not joined this organization, we really want you to join because this is how we're going to continue to fund these award winners. All right, and I just want to give you the list. Okay, the first one was let's see, in 1998. I'm sorry, in 1992, Beth DeCristofaro, okay? And right now she is still teaching. She's teaching out of state, okay? And then in 1998, we funded twins, okay? Jody and Jill Jerinson, I think. Geisinger, I believe. And one of them is working out of state, and the other person is working in Boston Spa. So these teachers are still working. That's good, okay? Then we have 2002, Kenneth Kelly, who is a music teacher in Troy. So we're doing good. Okay, 2008, Sarah Williams, who has a master's degree in special ed and English, and she's working with the disabled in Colony. And the last one that we funded was Tiffany Robillard, and she is still in college. That was just 2 years ago in 2014, so she is still in college in Elmira. So she's doing well. So our purpose here today is to present a citation here, and this, I think the one for May Begley, the citation was done by Hugh Farley. We know him. So we want to present this, and you can find a place to hang it in the
Beautiful.
high school someplace, okay? This is May Begley, so we want to present this, okay? All right, and the second one is a frame, okay? And it has a picture of all of our winners, okay? So you might want to post this or hang this someplace too, okay?
These are winners from the Schenectady.
Yes, over the last, yes. So, yes. So I think that Schenectady, we should be very proud because we have produced, 6 or 7 teachers who are still doing well. So that means that Schenectady School District must be doing a good job, huh? Okay. All right, thank you.
Efforts in getting this here. Did everybody get a chance to see this? We'll find an appropriate place. Do I look like Ben? Hardly.
Just watch your step.
Don't trip, man. That would be going to the emergency room. That would be rather unfortunate. Thank you, Linda.
It's great to see you.
Okay. counted on this. Thank you to the retired teachers who came to us tonight. We appreciate that. I didn't know the history of your organization, so it's nice to hear about May Bagley and the other founders, whoever it was. I can't recall her name. Any rate, at this time, we would like to conduct our board hearing for the budget. And the only person, I don't have any people signed up for this budget hearing presentation, but I think the first thing we have is some comments by you, perhaps? That's what my agenda says. I don't know.
I actually think it's a presentation and then an opportunity for comments.
Okay. All right. So we have Kimberly. Sorry, didn't get that far down in the agenda. I saw Lawrence Spring there, right?
Well, he can do it if you want.
Yeah, that part I didn't get down there. I was up here. Going right into it.
Yes, tonight's presentation is the official public hearing on the budget. This brings us towards the home stretch in the budget development process. When we started this about 6 months ago, when I started doing presentations and listed out the milestones along the way, we're now down to the final two, this one being the public hearing and then the budget vote. This is a requirement that we do this, and many folks don't exactly understand why, since it's after the board approves the budget. So we're beyond that point of time where there's the opportunity to influence what's in it. So this is really a requirement about notification and publication of what is in the proposed budget for the voters. This is one of the requirements. The other requirement is what's referred to as public budget documents. These are contain certain requirements, and they are posted and available in the public libraries within the city school district, as well as each school district, which contain greater information than tonight, but this is sort of a summary. What the voters are asked to vote on is simply the total dollar amount that the school district may spend next year, and to levy taxes as necessary to raise that amount. And you can see that we're looking at a total budget of $177 million, an increase of $9.5 million, a little over 5%. This information is taken from the fiscal accountability report from State Ed, and you can see here that Schenectady is lower than similar school districts in all school districts. The two categories are based upon regular education and special education students. One of the requirements that we have as well is to represent the budget in what's referred to as a three-part component budget, utilizing the account codes and function codes within the budget. We break down into these three areas of capital, administrative, and program. And you can see that from this year, the current year, to the proposed budget for next year, our percentages and proportions are exactly the same in those areas. These next couple of slides provide detail in terms of how we arrive at each of the three-part component areas. I'm not going to go through these. What I like to highlight at this point is with respect to the employee benefits, this is not specific to each of those program areas. It's simply a matter of taking the proportion of the salaries of the staff within each area compared to the total cost of the employee benefits, health insurance, Social Security, payroll taxes, all of those benefits, and just applying that proportion to these areas just for illustration purposes. So you have the administrative budget area and then the capital. And again, these are strictly drawn from the account codes, and you can pretty much understand that the program area has to do with students and the instructional programs. Administrative is the support and the staff and program salaries related to supporting the programs, and then the capital has to do more with the infrastructure, operations, and maintenance. Looking at this slide for the revenues, the highlight is twofold. One is obviously the increase in the foundation aid that we received this year, and also like to bring attention to where we are with our property tax levy. The proposal is with a slight decrease that we put into the budget of 0.25%. And then these next few slides, again, highlight what we've talked about previously that's going to be included in the proposed budget for next year. The addition of the common branch teachers at the elementary level to help reduce the class sizes, particularly for ELA instruction. On the secondary level, we've added positions to help restore that 8th period that was cut previously. The addition of the reading teachers to focus on our students at the secondary level that are struggling. In the district-wide PPS category, you can see the focus to address the mental health needs of our students. The other one that I guess I'll highlight is the support that we're putting in to help continue the model that's been begun to support the receivership schools that is now going to be expanded to help support our priority and struggling schools. Within the administrative area, one of the increases that you'll see, small, but I did want to mention it, was the board docs, because we did not have to pay for that this year, but it is going to be an increase for next year, small cost. In the addition of the recruitment specialist in the Human Resources Office, this is being done to really help us focus on obtaining high quality staff with a greater focus on increasing the diversity in our teaching and staffing population. Within that capital area, we've got the addition of the one maintenance worker. Included here is a slide to show some history with respect to the tax levy changes. You can see the slight decrease this year, and in 14-15 you can see that higher number, and that relatively higher number. And just as a reminder, that was done in conjunction with the property tax rebate.
The checks we all received.
The
yes.
checks that we received. Yep. So on the ballot, there's going to be 2 items this year. One is for the budget. And what we always like to just kind of walk through, folks, is if we are in that unfortunate situation where we don't have at least a majority of the voters providing a yes vote, then the district is faced with a choice, either to go out for another vote or to adopt a contingency budget. If the decision is to go out for a second vote, if that one also does not receive a majority vote, yes vote, then the district would have to implement a contingency budget. Also on the ballot is the capital project referendum, the $2.5 million for the Central Park work. This is being done in advance of what we've sort of laid out in terms of a 5-year renewal plan because of the safety issues that were identified. These are not imminent safety issues, but they're certainly very important and something that we want to address in advance of the next larger cycle of the capital project plan. What's critical here is that we are in a situation right now because of the current $70 million project. It would appear on our current cycle that when we go out to bond for the cost associated with this project, we're more than likely to be above the constitutional debt limit, which means that to proceed, we would need at least a supermajority, a 60% plus yes vote to proceed. So this slide is showing the different scenarios that we could be faced with. If we got the 60 plus, we're in the best situation. If the vote is somewhere between the 50, the simple majority, and that supermajority, we have the authorization to proceed, but we're then in a situation where we could not issue debt that would cause us to exceed the debt limit. The third situation would be if we did not have that simple majority vote, and then we would not be able to proceed with the project. So if we were in that situation where we needed to adopt a contingent budget, what does that mean? For us this year, it doesn't have a significant impact because one of the biggest criteria around a contingent budget is that the tax levy cannot be greater than the current year. Since this budget is built with a decrease, that criteria is a non-factor for us. And then there's some other pieces to it which require or restrict us from spending money in certain ways. And the other piece is there is an administrative cap calculation that would need to be done. We've done that, and we are within that, so we would not need to make any adjustments that way either. Last are simply the details around the budget vote. May 17th, noon to 9. We've listed the different locations. And as always, it's very important to get the vote out. We always want people to come out and have their ability to exercise their rights and vote. Also, of course, on the ballots will be the Board of Education slots. We have 2 slots that are open, and we have 3 candidates this year. Both positions are for 3-year terms. And then last is the voter eligibility and registration information and the absentee ballot information.
Any questions for Kimberly? Okay.
All right. Thank you.
I will go back to where before you did the presentation, I have no one signed up for comments at this hearing. So I believe I will close the public hearing and move on to our regular agenda. You have the agenda before you. Are there any changes necessary to the agenda? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda as written. Ann?
Second.
John? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. We have the minutes of April 6th, April 13th, and April 20th. Wow. It was a busy month. Are there any changes to these minutes that anyone noted? Hearing none, I would accept a motion to approve the minutes as written.
So moved.
Mark, second.
Second.
Darrell? Any comments or questions or changes you thought of in the last 30 seconds? Okay. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. And now we're on to privilege of the floor. And I have one person signed up, Jamaica Miles, to discuss policy 7152.
Good evening. Before I briefly mention the policy, someone asked me to say thank you for the repairs that were done to the Lincoln School parking lot. that was apparently greatly appreciated, so I did say I would pass that message along. And I would just like to also briefly say the capital project is, I think, a priority that needs to happen, and I hope our voters agree and turn out and not only vote yes on the budget, but also vote yes for the capital project. Now, when it comes to the policy, I was reading it, and I just want to make sure that I understand a couple things. It looks as if there will be a standing order for non-prescription, I'm not wording it correctly, but that there will be a prescription order for anyone that doesn't already have an EpiPen on campus. Is that correct?
A non-specific prescription, yep.
Okay, but I don't see that the policy allows for a stock supply of EpiPens. Do they go hand in hand? Because I don't see that specific language, so.
Our intent is that they go hand in hand.
The
So
statement,
we would have them on
right,
hand.
the statement I have here says that we will have a supply of EpiPens for use by the nurses if a student is experiencing an anaphylactic reaction when we do not have a script for its use.
Okay, so that would cover anyone that has a known or unknown allergy then?
Right. We have arranged with a pharmaceutical company who will supply free EpiPens and replace
free
them when they
EpiPens.
expire.
Okay, awesome. And then, yay, thank you. I'm glad to hear that. As you know, it was something that was of a concern of mine. And I hope that in the future we'll consider Narcan as a potential medical emergency medication to have on campus as well, even though it's not included in this policy at this time. I hope that it's something that we consider.
Yeah, it's a thing our nursing staff wants to continue to watch.
Okay. Then the last thing that I wanted to say, I keep saying the last thing and it's not the last thing. I'm so sorry. With the upcoming vote and elections, I wanted to say to both Kathy and Ann that I appreciate all of the knowledge and expertise and commitment that you've had to our district. And I very much look forward to continuing to work with you. Both of you have been a part of supporting the coalition that's here in Schenectady and showing up at events and having your voice heard. And you specifically spoke to some members we had go to our lobby day. So I really appreciate that. And I hope that other people recognize the expertise that both of you bring to our board and support you as you move forward.
Thank you, Jamaica.
Thank you very much.
I had cited that it was policy 7152 that Jamaica was speaking about. It was actually policy number 7521, a transposition there. Okay, at this point, having no one else signed up, I'll turn it over to Larry.
Okay, a few things for this evening. First of all, I know this was in the newspaper before, but I want to offer my congratulations to a 2012 graduate of Schenectady. Providence Ryan is a student at Colgate University with a double major in biology and philosophy, and she is their 2016 recipient of the 1819 award, which is their highest honor. It's given to a student representing their best traits of character, sportsmanship, scholarship, and service above and beyond their peers. And so many congratulations.
Congratulations to her.
To Providence Ryan for her advocacy work, I think especially in the LGBT realm. So a round of applause for Providence Ryan.
Excellent.
Next week, we've got two high school seniors. We're going to have a little signing event. Two seniors that are going to be signing their letters of intent. We've got Kelly Serafini, who's going to be signing with Division II Bentley for softball, and Calvin Cleworth is going to be signing with Division I University of Maine in swimming. So congratulations to those two athletes. I know just how much hard work you've got to put in to do that. We also have a nice honor for the high school. They've been selected to receive the Grammy Foundation's Community Award, which includes a $2,000 grant for the music program. And the high school has also been selected to participate in the Anti-Defamation League's Grossfeld Family National Leadership Mission to the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum in D.C., in part because they've been designated as no place for hate gold star school with the ADL. And so the high school will be able to nominate up to 3 students who will be juniors in the 16-17 school year to travel to participate in that mission. So we think that work that they've been doing with No Place for Hate with the ADL is fantastic work, and we're glad to achieve that level and be able to send kids on that mission. It's very worthwhile.
Good.
So I'll also ask folks to take notice if you drive by the high school tomorrow. Our art students will be out there placing signs, bringing awareness to the excellence that our students have, as well as to the field of visual arts. And so we've got we're going to have lots of things going on out there to draw your eye to the artwork that our students are capable of creating. And one of their former teachers has been helping them with that. So many thanks to Peg Foley to helping
Do
them
we know
get that stuff out there. Right? And then a couple of just reminders about some dates that are coming out. We're going to be communicating these, but it's impossible to over-communicate them. We used 0 snow days this year, and so May 27th will be a recess day. Please don't send your children to school on May 27th because their teachers won't be here.
I hope you haven't jinxed us that we're going to have snow here in the next 2 days.
Well, I still have 2 days then in my pocket that I can use. Pre-K applications are due this Friday. The lottery is going to be held on May 20th. So if anybody's been waiting for that, that's due this Friday. May 11th is the Moonlight Serenade. That's coming up very, very shortly. And we've got a Central Park referendum meeting coming up. We've got one tomorrow at 6, which will be at King, and then next week on the 10th at Page. And so if folks want to know specifics about that project, just how little it will cost, just how needed the work is, I would encourage you to come to one of those meetings and bring questions.
Thank you, Larry. As I said, I hope you haven't jinxed the snow. I think it was 2003 that we had something like 6 inches, May 18th, because I was at a plant sale. Really cold. Okay, board members. Dara?
This week is Teachers Appreciation Week. I just want to thank all the teachers in the district for all the hard work they've been doing and for all the support that they give to kids.
That's right. Thank you. Tanya?
Let's see. I'm probably going to be limited, and I don't know, my throat is getting froggy here, but it'll probably be hard to hear me. I'm
Reach
not
into
sure.
the microphone a little
Right
bit
in
more.
the mic.
Okay, can you hear me better now? Okay, let's see. Last week, just wanted to thank the Zonta Club for their donation to the Working Group on Girls. There was a mom prom last week. And it was a lot of fun. I did attend. I think our students would have been mortified that a bunch of middle-aged to older women were out there trying to do the stanky legs. So, but it was a lot of fun. And tonight was, the Working Group on Girls. Some of their programs have ended in the schools, and so tonight was a celebration for that over at the high school. And it was nice to see so many young ladies come out with women who are important to them in their lives. We weren't able to stay for the whole thing because we had the board meeting tonight, but prior to me leaving, I was thrilled to hear students at Martin Luther King singing, and they sounded wonderful. So it was really, really very nice. I understand that 200 of our young ladies participated in that program this year. I also had the privilege of being a muse this year for the 7th grade students at Page. And I'll tell you, even though we're supposed to be muses to them, I almost feel like they're muses to us. They